Hi, everybody. Well, I'm happy to say that I'm almost done with the install of all my Denali accessories. Today, what I'd like to do is I'd like to install the D4s right here, just somewhere in the vicinity where my OEM turn signals were. I want to install the dial dim controller itself up in my control area. I just received the perch mount in the mail the other day, so I wanted to do that. And then lastly, we've got a lot of wires to organize and hide. It's just a ton of wires. So want to hide all those. And then once we have all that tidied up, we'll put the fairing back on and we'll function check all the lights. Be sure they're all working the way they're supposed to. Let's get started. These are the lights and accessories we'll be mounting today. First, we have the D4 lights. When you take them out of the box, they'll have a clear lens cover installed for you already. The bottom two lights will be flood, and the top two will be spot. If you wish to change that, you're going to get in the box an electrical pigtail, and then you'll get another lens cover. And with this cover, all four light openings are spotlights. So you could change it to that if you like. Next, we're going to be using the engine guard light mounts. You're going to get two mounts. The one thing I really like about this is that you're not just limited to mounting it like this with a shelf facing up and down, or like this with the shelf portion here. I guess you call this horizontal, left and right. This shelf actually loosens up and you can turn this on its own 90 or 180 degrees, which just gives you a lot of latitude to mount your light any way you like. I really like that a lot. It also comes with a bag of extra hardware. The hardware just is the same screws, the same size. They're like M5s and M6s, but with varying lengths in case you need little longer or a little shorter screws to mount your light mounts. I plan on mounting the D4s here, and I know I'm going to have to mount this light mount like this, but because I want to mount it like this shelf needs to be rotated 90 degrees clockwise, so that way the hole here is facing up and down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up. It takes a 5mm Allen wrench to tighten and loosen it, and there we go. And also, so I'm going to mount it like that. I do know that I need to get this tight right now because once I have the light on here, I really won't be able to get back in there again. It'll be too tight to tighten it once I have the light mounted. So I want to get it tight right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a drop or two of Loctite on the screw, and then I'm going to tighten it down really good. All right, that should be good. And with that Loctite in there, it should be set pretty good. Now I'm going to remove the screws to mount the actual ring on the bar. These are 3mm Allen wrench size. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, really don't need to take that first one off all the way, or that top one off all the way. I'm just going to go ahead and slip it on here. I do know I kind of want it here. Actually, I think I want it more on the inside. You know, it's funny. I could see it when I look at the other lower, but that lower is wider and farther out on that side than this one is. This one's really tight. So I'm going to see if I can adjust this because I want to bring this this mount a little closer to over here, almost kind of on the corner. So I'm going to see if I could adjust the lower a little bit to give me some slack here. What I've done here is I've mounted the frame mount loosely, and I did not loosen the lower like I was originally planning. It does give a little bit because it's just plastic. So I am going to bring the mount all the way over to the left till it hits the shiny plastic piece of the lower, so it stops it. And I'm going to do it there. I think I'm going to mount it there like just like this. I don't want to do it. I realize I have plenty of room in here, but I don't want to do that because the frame of the D4 is so big that I'm worried about hitting the handlebars during turns, and also on the opposite side I have a lot of wiring, and I don't want to get the wire caught on the box on that side because I'm gonna they're gonna be mirror images of each other. So I think this is good. I don't have to loosen up the lower, and I think this will be far enough out of the way where when I turn the wheel or when I turn the handles, the forks will not hit the light. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten everything up right here. I'm using this little tiny level that I have here to set the angle here on the mount. I'm not going to do it perfectly level. I'm going to do it so it is slightly downward. So my plan is to position it so it's perfectly level. And then I'm going to go ahead and lower it just a little bit so that way the bubble in there is kind of cut in half by the line on the left side. So it's just facing down a tiny bit so that way the light's not facing up in the eyes of the oncoming cars. I have the light mount on nice and tight. I believe I'm in a good spot there. I don't think I'll hit the forks when I turn the handlebars. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the connecting nut here on the bottom. This is a 13 millimeter nut, so you'll need a 13 millimeter wrench. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit it on top, put the bolt through the hole. All right. Now that's on there. Let me get my wrench. Get this going. All right, what's on? You can position it. It is, the fins on the back of the light are hitting the lower a little bit, but that's just the way it is. I don't think there's anything can be done about it. So I'm just going to position it to where I want, and then I will tighten down these side bolts. There's bolts on either side that allow you to angle the light up and down. Then also you can tighten the light down. And these are 5 millimeter hex head or Allen key head bolts. So you need a 5 millimeter to tighten them down. So I'm just going to kind of position this where I want and tighten everything down. The D4 is mounted in its final position. It's on there really nice and rock solid. I'm really happy with how it looks and in the positioning especially. It's right where I wanted it. It's virtually in the exact same spot as the OEM turn signal, which is the look I was going for. So now I'm going to go ahead and install the other D4 in the opposite spot. The second D4 is mounted. It looks good. And this is what it looks like head on. I'm happy with their position. And now next up is mounting the dial dim on my hand controls. This is the perch switch mount that Denali sent me. I forgot to order this when I ordered all the lights, so this just arrived the other day. So this is one of those things you're going to have to put on your list if you're going to order everything you need all at once. And this is the first time I've opened it, and the one thing I've learned about Denali is the product is high quality. very sturdy, but the directions all leave something to be desired, so I don't even think I'm going to look at those. I can tell just by looking at this it has various mounting plates, depending on where you want to mount it, maybe what kind of perch you have. There's spacers here, two different sizes, and then there's some hardware here, two longer bolts and four small screws. I'm sure the screws are so you can screw the actual back of the switch into the mounting plates. They're smaller holes, and then of course the longer bolts are for excuse me, where you will attach it to the perch. So let me just go ahead and go to the Pan America and see which one of these looks like will fit. Well, in trying to decide which mounting plate to use, I decided to go ahead and take a look at the mounting instructions, and I did learn something new. There are four very tiny screws that are provided in the hardware kit, and I assumed that those screws were meant to screw the mounting plate onto the back of the dial dim controller or switch, but they are not. They're meant to fit some of their previously made generic switches, and they do not fit in here. So the instructions recommend you use a 3M double-sided tape. So I will use that, and I'm going to use the Gorilla Glue double-sided tape that I used earlier to mount the controller down by the battery box. This is the plate I've decided to use. It just looks like it would work the best. I'm going to use it with the mounting point at the bottom. It looks like if you wanted, you could do it with a mounting point at the top, but this looks better to me. And they provide two spacers in the mounting kit, and I'm going to use the smaller spacer down here to offset it away from the mirror a little bit. And lastly, to remove any four of these perch fasteners, you're going to need a T30 bit. So T30 Torx is what you're going to need. And let's get started. Okay, first thing is let's remove this fastener. Be sure not to hit my tank with the handle here. Let me see if that will be loose enough to do by hand. Oh yeah. Okay, so it looks like the light and the handguard will sag a little bit as you loosen it, but they should go right back when you retighten it back up, it looks like. So next, I'm going to put the bolt through the mounting plate, and then on the back side of the mounting plate, I'm going to put the spacer and hand tighten it in there. Actually, I will take a look at that. And I can see that as I tighten it that the handguard is coming back up into place from where it was sagging just a second ago. So don't worry when you see it sag a tiny bit. Okay, I'm not going to tighten it all the way yet. Well, you know what? Hang on. Yeah, I'm going to wait. Let me get the switch on there first, and then I'll position it exactly where I want, and then I will tighten it all the way down. Okay, so I have this just hand tight. I cut a few slices of Gorilla Glue double tape here with my box cutter. So let's take this off and position this at the bottom of the plate. There we go. And I have some smaller pieces that I cut I can put at the top. Let's see how well they fit. Okay, that was good. What I'm going to do is overhang there a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and try with my box cutter or razor. Something that's small that really short at the edge. I think that's the tape set I'm going to use. Yeah, we got a razor cutter with a fresh razor blade and cut this all the way down to the plate. Okay, I have a razor cutter here. Let me see how close I can get to the edge here. Okay, that's good. And then do this side. Trimmed it on this side. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's trim down to the edges. Perfect. Now I'm going to try to peel away this top layer of clear cover on the adhesive. This was the hardest part to do down by the battery box when I put the controller up, just to get this peeled up and away. Okay, let me get this off camera. Boy, let me tell you, getting that peel started to remove the adhesive cover is very much a pain in the butt. So it took me a few minutes to get it, but I got it. And now let me put this cover on there. You know what I'm going to do is I only have this hand tightened, so I'm going to move it to the side a little bit so I can get my fingers behind it to press down, get some leverage on here when I mount this. Okay, press down on this now. And instructions for the Gorilla Glue tape say press down on it for 30 seconds. I'm sure I applied pressure for much longer than 30 seconds, but I just really want to be sure that that's on there nice and tight. Oh yeah, actually that looks good right there. So let me tighten this up. This is a 5mm Allen wrench. It should be plenty snug. All right, I like that. Perfect. So I just wanted to give a brief overview of the items that we've installed. So here is the sound bomb horn installed on the left side. Then up top, here is the dial dim switch mounted at the hand controls. You can see how the wires have been tucked away on the back side of the T3 front signals. And there are the T3s there. Then down here at the bottom, you can see the D4s mounted where the former OEM turn signals were. And then on the sides of the fender, I have the DM running lights and turn signals installed. And we have quite a bit of wiring now that we're going to reconnect and hide. I have them marked BLs for, blue left and green left. The DMs will be on the green circuit, and then the D4s will be on the blue circuit. I believe Denali calls the blue circuit circuit 1 and the green circuit circuit 2, and they have to be set up that way, so that way when the DMs are used as signals, the D4s will cut off so you can clearly see the signal. So let's go ahead and hide all this wiring, and then also in the center of the motorcycle I'll reinstall those little plastic triangular pieces that we took off in the beginning. I wanted to stop and share something that I'm having an issue with here. So this is the left side of the Pan America, and you can see that I put that little plastic triangular piece back on. It went on smoothly, there was no issues. But it's a different story on the other side. Let me come over here, and I'll show you my difficulties in what I'm doing. Okay, let me turn the wheel so we can open that up. Okay, so this right here is where the triangular piece goes. And here is the problem. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it, and hopefully it will work. So if you see right here, this piece that comes up from underneath. That's the Pan America wiring harness. And you're very limited in slack, so it's not like I can grab it and pull it up here towards the center where the triangular piece opens up. There's virtually very little play in it. It's going to stay there. And it has to also come out here to the headlight. So it's there, and it's, coming out of the lower here. So there's no getting back in the lower and, rerouting. And to be honest, I don't think I could do anything more than what I've done because there's not a lot of slack on this wiring harness once it's all plugged in. So what I've done is I've taken the triangular piece, here we go, that goes on this side, and on the bottom, I've cut out with a Dremel tool a slot. So that little square slot I cut out myself with a Dremel tool, and I'm going to put this on there like that, and then hopefully this piece here that hangs underneath will, go nicely through that slot and be put in that position with the slot, and it will still look nice. So that's kind of my workaround. I wanted to show you the triangular piece mounted here on the left side. You can see how it came out. There is the wiring harness wire coming up from below, and it does fit in the notch I made just perfectly. The rest of the wires are where they are supposed to be on the left side, and it's nice and solid. It's not moving. So you know what? I'm happy with it, and I'll move on to the rest of the wiring. Well, I cleaned up all the wires, and you know what? It came out pretty good. I was really worried about all that length of extension wire, but it hid away really well. So here we go in the front. There's really no wires exposed here. I ran the D4 wires just basically straight up into here, and everything's hidden by the headlight cover, and a lot of stuff tucks really neatly way back between the gas tank and the frame of the bike. So there's no wires, down in front of the radiator. And then on the other side, everything does come out of that lower, but it all goes right straight up. And I was able to organize it pretty good. From the front, you really don't see anything, especially because that fork is right there. But it all gets tucked up in here, inside between the gas tank and the center. You could see it in there. But from the side, you don't see it at all. And even when you look like in the middle here, in between the headlight cover and the gas tank, there's really nothing in there. It's pretty clean. So I'm very happy with it. I was really worried about the wires, but they were a cinch to hide and organize. On the back here, or excuse me, I guess you'd say behind the hand controls here, you could see that I zip tied up the controller wire, and it just runs down the handlebars and down the center. And I'm real happy. So I like how the wires are hidden, and I like how everything looks. So let's test everything out one by one. Okay, so now that we've finished with all the wires, put everything back together, let's try the lights. Be sure they're functioning okay. Everything turned on, excellent. So this is the circuit with the DMs. Oh yeah. They brighten and dim all the way to nothing. So I'm going to leave those at 15%. Next are the D4s. Man, those are bright. And they go all the way off, correct? Yes. So we'll leave those at 15%. And then next we will check the turn signals. And the D4s turn off like they're supposed to while the signals blink. Oh, that's really good. And then lastly, this is the one I'm dreading because it's going to be so loud. I'm going to try the horn, and the D4s and the DMs should flash. Maybe the T3s too, I'm not sure, but there should be some flashing lights here. Let's see. That is so unbelievably loud. Good Lord. Okay, everything works. Excellent. Well, I can't believe I'm finally done. This was the single most extensive install I've ever done on any motorcycle ever. So I kind of have this cool sense of accomplishment. Um, I hope you enjoyed watching the video series, and I hope I could help someone out there who's maybe interested in installing some of the Denali products themselves. That was my motivation. As I was researching products, lighting products specifically to put on the motorcycle, I saw that Denali was really kind of the leader and the best for adventure bike lighting, so that's why I went with them. But I also saw in my research that they are also known for not having the best instructions. So that was kind of my motivation for doing this short video series. So I hope that my experience in installing their products on my Pan America can hopefully help some people out there who watch the series and plan on doing it themselves. With that, in the next few weeks, I plan on installing a few more things on my Pan America. And then my wife has an El Diablo, and we're going to go ahead and install some things on that also. So hopefully there'll be some interesting things for you guys to watch in the near future. And with that, thank you, and I'll see you again real soon.